Good evening.
It's all yours.
Thank you. Good evening. Robert C. Williams appearing on behalf of the Iron Bar LLC. The Iron Bar, as you know it, has been a member of your community going back many years, starting in May of 2012. The Iron Bar opened, has been open since that date, has operated in your community without any violations. In October of 2016, Revolution opened, and that has operated in this community without any violations since it opened. Special conditions pursuant to NJSA 33:1-32 were imposed by the then governing body on the transfer and expansion of the licensed premises known as Iron Bar into what is known today as Revolution. Those conditions were imposed at the transfer. They were reimposed at the 2015-16 renewal hearing, 16-17, and 17-18. I believe you have a copy of the conditions before you. Each year, the licensee appealed the condition which limited the hours to 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11:30 on Friday and Saturday. Each time that an appeal was filed, the Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control stayed the implementation of those conditions. They never went into effect. They were never approved by the director. And the section known as Revolution has operated lawfully since the initial transfer in September of 2014, operating under full licensing privileges. There were no hearings held on the appeals until April 17th of 2017. There was a 2-day hearing before the Office of Administrative Law regarding whether or not these conditions were necessary and proper and should be approved by the Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control. Excuse me. A decision was reached by Judge Stolo on February 23rd, 2018. Hopefully, everybody here has read that decision. But I would like to go back and highlight briefly just some of the comments and the conclusions that the judge who heard the case made. On page 14 of the decision, and I have copies for everybody if you'd like it, but I'll just read briefly what he said. I conclude that Morristown's imposition of the special condition imposing time restriction on Revolution lacked a sufficient rational basis and must therefore be considered unreasonable. I note that under cross-examination, Council President Armington admitted that he did not know why 11 and 11:30 closing times were chosen. This underscores the lack of a rational basis for the time limit. Cognizant of the fact that 6 bars operated on the same block, only Revolution has a time restriction, I conclude that the imposition of a time restriction, including the inexplicable selection of closing times, demonstrates that it is arbitrary and capricious. The imposition of time restriction solely on Revolution also strongly suggests that a time restriction should be considered discriminatory. Given the operation of Revolution posed no demonstrable danger of public health, safety, welfare, or morals, and given the operation of Revolution did not evoke widespread public sentiment against its operating until 2 a.m., the closing time enjoyed by similar establishments in the area, I conclude that Revolution met its burden of proof that Morristown's imposition of an early closing time on Revolution was unreasonable and an inappropriate exercise of discretion. Ordered that resolution number 143-214 was unreasonable and an inappropriate exercise of Morristown's discretion in regulating ABC licenses and must therefore be rescinded. The only person outside of Morristown who heard the evidence was totally unbiased, had no political axe to grind, had no political favor to curry, made those statements. It's overwhelming. In 40 years, I've seen a more favorable decision for a licensee. There was no rational basis to do it then. There's no rational basis for you to do it right. Nothing has changed. There have been no ABC violations. No one has recommended that you do what you have in your proposed ordinance to limit the hours. Nobody from the police department, nobody from the fire department, nobody from the health department, nobody from the building department, no county agency, no state agency. Nobody's recommending this. Why is it still in the proposed ordinance? There is no factual basis to keep this on any longer.
Is that all?
No.
I guess we're gonna start the clock.
I didn't know I was on a clock or something like this. I'll try to move faster. I would hope that you would agree with me and remove that condition. I have with me a petition signed by over 1,000 people, 500 of which live in your community, who share my belief that this is a ridiculous restriction. You can look at it at your leisure. But I want you to do something tonight which has never been done. I don't want you to hide behind the vote and say, we approve it. I want you to tell the licensee, tell the members of your community why it is necessary and proper, given the fact that it's already been to court, has been stayed 4 times, that this licensee should have to close at 11 or 11:30. Tell us the truth. The truth is free. There is no reason why you should not do that. We've had the opportunity to listen to some of your municipal officials who told the truth at the hearing in April of 17. They were sworn in under oath. Your chief of police testified that he has been a member of the Morristown Police Department for 34 years. He has personally observed the pedestrian traffic created when all the bars closed. He testified to the general conditions of all bars along South and D-Hart Streets let out, but found that people conducted themselves in an orderly manner. He stated that he does not know of any reason. Your chief of police testified to this under oath. He knows of no reason why Revolution should have to stop serving at 11 and 11:30. Your municipal clerk under oath testified that no other bar in Morristown currently operates with those restricted hours. Your fire chief testified that there are no fire code violations against the Iron Bar or Revolution. Councilwoman Michelle Dupree Harris testified that she was against the restrictions. And then Council President Armington stated, when asked how the council came up with the 11 and 11:30 restriction, I don't know. If the council president doesn't know, how can it be necessary and proper under the state statute? You are sitting here tonight as an ABC board. You have to do what's fair. It's totally unfair to continue this any longer. Between your municipality and the Iron Bar, over $100,000 has been spent on legal fees. Not that I'm against making money, but I can tell you, I don't need to work. My client can spend the funds more appropriately, and I know the taxpayers of this town would like you to spend it on something else. There is no upside to this community to put it on again this year. What will happen? We will file another appeal, it will go to the OAL, and eventually there'll be another hearing. Why do that? It makes no sense. Let's end this battle of over 5 years now, over nothing. The licensee has done everything right. So, I want each of you to tell me, if you don't share my thoughts, why you think it is necessary and proper, and why the director of the ABC should uphold an 11 and 11:30 closing. I challenge you to do that. That would be the good thing to do. Then everybody will know. It's never been done before. I would also point out that as part of your resolution, you have requested, and we've never objected before, that we keep our trash and recyclables inside. Unfortunately, the county has decided, going back to January of 17, that it is not allowed. Sitting as an ABC board, you don't have jurisdiction to impose that condition. We never challenged it because we felt that if you wanted us to do it, we would do it. The county has told us that we can't. So now we have to recycle and put our trash in the existing bins that have been there going back to when they opened in 2012. But the real essence of my objection here tonight, because I can't control the county, is the hours. I would ask you to reconsider it, step to the plate, say they're unnecessary. If the licensee makes a mistake, if he does something improper under the rules and regulations, if he violates Title 33, charge him. But he's done nothing wrong, he should not be penalized. Thank you.
Any comments from councilmen? Any comments from councilmen? Call question?
Motion made. Councilman Armington?
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis?
Yes.
Councilman Elms?
Yes.
Councilman Iannacock?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
I will abstain.
Council President Foster?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, we have no unfinished business, no new business. I'd like to take a motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor? Opposed?
Morristown